All right, we have Zayn in the house. Give him a hand. Welcome to the 10K club, buddy. My God, well done, bud. And so look, how does that feel? Was that pretty good?
It's pretty good. 10K here, as you can see. Yeah, it's been a long journey, but it's there. It's finally there.
Nice. So what was the initial problem that that caused you to meet us to join with us? What is it that you what was the initial problem that you had?
Yeah, I think it started a few years ago when I was feeling a bit stuck myself. Like I feel like there's more that I can do, but I don't know what that is. And then started going to the Breakthrough Summit a long time ago, and then I met lots of lovely people like yourself, etc. And then we talk about how can we fulfill our potential and things like that. And I thought, oh wow, this is something that maybe I can explore. So jumped in, and then it just went from there. It did took a bit of time figuring out what I want to do, all the sort of stuff, but having a community means that there's always someone there to encourage you to keep going, and that's great.
Yeah, I mean, you started with absolutely no idea.
No,
Like, in the nicest way, in the self-development space, so self-development is a continued, you know for the rest of your life. A lot of people don't really get that, and I think that there's periods where you do that and you go like, yeah, I get you to you get to a stage where you want to be. And then what I've noticed over the years is, because that's exactly where I started in the mindset niche. And once you hit like a 30 birthday or a 40 birthday, or something really dramatic happens in your life, you realize, shit, I need to continually do this, like cleaning my teeth.
mm, mm,
and that's never ending,
yeah,
ever, never ending. And so I think there's periodization where you go, like, I've got a business strategy in place now, and I've got a niche, etc. Then what you'll notice is that you'll hit another block later down,
mm,
and every new level in your life creates a new devil. There's a new challenge on the opposite side of that, and you have to compound on it. But look, regardless of how we get here, we get here.
right.
And what do you think has been the best thing? Like, what's been the best thing so far in terms of support wise for you personally? With our service supporting you. Well, sometimes people say, the closer process in of itself. Sometimes people say the live support. Sometimes people say just having that community.
For me, it's I've definitely been in and out. Sometimes life takes over and you focus shift from one end to the other. But for me, the biggest thing is just knowing that whenever things go well or whenever things go wrong, there's someone to turn to, there's a community to turn to, and people will just jump in, give some advice, especially like yourself. You I don't think there's ever one post that I posted you they never responded. And I think for me, that's personally one of the best things, which is that there's someone who will be able to look after you, someone who is experienced enough, who cares enough to say, no matter how busy I am, I'll take the time to respond to people who trust me and for me to bring them on the journey. And yes, we might not use it every single time, but the fact that I know it's there is one of the probably the best things.
Why do you think people don't ask for help? Out of your I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's a good question. I ask myself that too, because sometimes I don't ask for help. I think that is definitely something like, I think it's one thing is like being judged, and you have to acknowledge the fact that you actually don't know something, and then you have to go through a learning process, and then you get put on a hook, and then you have to have social accountability because you put it out there means people know where you are. They will come back and say, oh, by the way, you mentioned about this last time. Where are you? Yeah, sorry.
No, good answer.
Yeah.
I think as I don't know, what I've noticed over the years is as I've become more successful, I have no issues asking for help.
Mm.
And what I notice is that people that struggle for asking for help are going through those layers, and actually the more successful you become, the quicker you can actually ask for help. the easier it becomes, because you start to understand that no one has all the answers.
Yeah.
Right. And you're not meant to have all the answers. And it's actually easier just to acknowledge the fact that you don't have it.
Yeah, exactly. I think for me, learning to ask questions, as simple as it sounds, is definitely something that I'm learning to, because I think I saw some way or the other, I keep thinking that, oh yeah, you can find out the answers yourself, just keep trying and whatever. But sometimes it's so easy, just have someone to say, you know, as stupid as a question might be, or there's no stupid questions, they will just point out to go, oh, why aren't you doing this? And you're like, oh yeah, why the hell am I doing that? So yeah, I need to learn that myself too.
What belief change have you got now since where you are to where you are now? What do you believe differently about maybe yourself, about your possibilities?
It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can work it out as you go.
Refine on the go.
Exactly.
Selling on the go.
On the go. And you know, I'm sure we will cover this later, but when I so the way that I pulled this 10K was just to start like a community of only 14 people, and I said to them, this is the plan. Yes, I go through this whole sort of sales process. This is the plan. It's going to be for however long. And this is what I plan to do, but it's always going to let ebb and flow, because the whole point is about giving you all the value, every single one of them that you wanted. It's not about me, it's about you. So if you want to embark on this journey together, then let's just go. And surprisingly, people just go, sounds good. And then just jump in and just like, I've got no course, I've got no platform, no website, no social media following. And it just worked. And it was 14 people out of 30 whom I speak to. So it was a high rate. It was a high rate.
Yeah, I mean, that's 50, almost 50%, which, like, again, like creating it on the go sounds really it sounds really inauthentic, but it's actually super authentic, because you're just saying, this is what it is, this is what it's right now. And people have this perception that they're gonna have everything ready and it's gonna be perfect. And that is the reason that most people never actually make it in the online space, because it's never a space where, like, no one is ever going to get to this position where it's perfect, because, you know, you're always growing, you're always refining, it's always getting better. And so it's whether you start, you know, and Zayn, I see more people than ever before not doing that, because they're so easy to look at other people's journey, and, you know, because they can see someone else doing really, really well, that they're constantly comparing to that other person's journey, therefore they don't end up doing it. So look, I appreciate you, man, and I appreciate you going on this journey, because you've put a lot in, and you've been, you know, doing it a long time. What do you think you would say to people that are on the edge of joining COA, that were looking at it or hesitant of, you know, because sometimes people say, is Ed really there, or does it really work, and all of that sort of thing? What would you say to someone that was on the edge?
I would say, I remember when I did Breakthrough Summit, I was just like, this guy, yes, as cheesy as he may seem like on the outside, but I just thought that, I remember the reason why I joined was that I know that you have got a strong, actually scientific background. You did all those work. And I was like, yeah, seems good. And then you actually make it work in the real world too. So you clearly understand both sides. So that, from a rational reasons, that was why I decided to jump in. But when I'm in, and I never felt like I was left behind, but you are always there. The sessions are always there. And I think you also know that people will drop off from time to time. It's just how it works. But you are always just there, like, if anything happens, comes to me. And like I said, I just make a post on there. Pretty much in 24 hours, I always get a response directly from you on the Facebook group. So I think if people are hesitant, I would say that if there's just a tiny voice inside to say, try it, do it, then just do it. And yes, it might take a bit of time. It will be a bit of a struggle. But when you look back, and when this really sits on your desk and you look back and then you think to yourself, I actually made it, was one of the best feelings ever. So yeah.
Yeah, man, nice, man. Well, give yourself a hand. It doesn't work without amazing people like yourself.
Thank you. Yeah.
That being said, let's get you clear on your next steps, and let's dive in.